Hello, my name is Bhavya, and today I'm going to talk about grid curtailment and how it connects with expected energy. So, as you see on my screen, this is one of the solar PV plants that's already connected to our Autopilot software. And on this plant, the software has detected grid curtailment. And if you see, for almost every day, at least for a few hours, there's always grid curtailment. And that's what we have seen, that as more and more renewable energy is getting integrated into the grid, we are seeing increased grid curtailment in solar PV plants, especially in places like Europe and Australia. But here's the tricky part: quantifying the losses from grid curtailment isn't always straightforward. A great way to measure these losses is by calculating the expected energy during curtailment moments. This gives us a benchmark to understand how much energy we could have generated versus what we actually produced. But to get this right, what we really need is good irradiance data. And then, if we have the grid set points as a time series, that makes our energy calculations even more reliable. But here's the catch: irradiance data isn't always perfect. So there's always validation, calibration required to make it work. And in large solar PV plants with multiple pyranometer, it's best to map each inverter to the nearest pyranometer to get a good picture of the actual irradiance falling on the panels. Or if that's not an option, we can always try other tricks like averaging the pyranometer data, or even picking the best values from each timestamp of different parameter and then getting the best curve. The more accurate the irradiance data, the better expected energy estimate, and that means a clearer picture of grid curtailment losses. So, in a nutshell, better data leads to better insights, which eventually means smarter decisions for optimizing the solar PV plants. So, thank you for watching and feel free to reach out if you have any questions.